What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. I was just in here vibing out to Johnny Taylor these last $2, right? I'm up in here, a lady at the casino. And y'all, speaking of $2, Shannon Sharpe, Uncle Shannon, he got to come out of way more than $2 as it pertains to a settlement that he reached with Miss Gabriella Zuniga, right? Gabriella Zuniga is an OnlyFans content creator, OnlyFans model, who accused Shannon Sharpe of sexual assault. You see, Shannon Sharpe had been a customer of Gabriella Zuniga for a little minute now, right? I think she's about 20, 21 years old. Shannon Sharpe met her in a gym when she was 19 years old. They began to have a transactional relationship as it pertains to sex. At some point, Gabriella Zuniga said a turn took place where Shannon Sharpe forced himself on her allegedly. And so she filed a lawsuit saying that Shannon Sharpe sexually assaulted her, right? This lawsuit made headlines. Shannon Sharpe, ESPN basically told him he's off air until their situation gets handled. In the process, Shannon Sharpe lost millions. Not millions, I don't know if he lost millions, but I know he lost a nice amount of money in endorsements because he had a lot of endorsements based upon his popular podcast and late night show. What's it called? Nightcap is the name of the show. Nightcap, which he has with Chad Ochocinco. And he lost, I don't know if he lost sponsors dealing with Club Shay Shay, but I know Nightcap lost some sponsors. And ESPN told him he got to sit on the sidelines. When this happened, Shannon Sharpe was forced to go public and talk about the situation. He called it a shakedown. He talked about Tony Busby going after successful black males like him and Jay-Z, etc. However, in this situation, people got judgment because Jay-Z didn't give over 1 red cent. He didn't give over 1 penny. He didn't give up anything, said he's not going for a settlement. Shannon Sharpe, unfortunately for him, he did, right? Now, you got some people saying, is that an admission of guilt? Some people feel like he's trying to get this situation over with because the young lady has video. She allegedly had video proof of a sexual encounter that her and Shannon Sharpe had. And he said the video is doctored up to make it seem like something that it's not. Maybe they were into some alleged role play situation or something like that. And the video was doctored up to make it look like he was forcing himself on her or something along the lines of that. Now, before the situation got public, Shannon Sharpe was notified of what was going to happen. And Shannon Sharpe tried to settle with Gabriella Zuniga. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. He tried to reach a settlement with her and for $10 million, right? Which is a lot of money. However, Gabriella Zuniga and her legal team, her attorney, Tony Busby, they said absolutely not. We're going to go for $50 million. And then when I heard this, I said, $50 million? I'm sitting there like Chris Tucker on Rush Hour. Who the hell you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton? God damn, right? That's all I can think about. $50 million. That's a lot of bread, right? So, everything was going on. And, I guess behind closed doors, they reached a settlement. There is rumors that the settlement was for $20 million. I can't imagine this for anything less than $10 million because she turned that down initially, right? So they saying it's for about $20 million, so on and so forth. And when I sit and think about this whole situation, it leads to the conversation that I had when the news first broke, the conversation I had on this very channel. You see me, man, I'm never into transactional sex. I'm a man who believes that sex should happen between two people who want to mutually have sex with one another. I know that there are situations where there are some guys who are socially awkward, I don't know, may have some issues with their appearance, so on and so forth, and so they result to transactional means of sex. Me personally, that's just not for me. I don't care if I got a wooden leg, a patch on my eye, and missing side teeth. I'm going to find somebody that like me for me. Because at some point, goddamn, you're going to run out of money. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just not, it's not a thing. I don't want to have to buy a sexual relationship with a woman. However, a lot of famous and rich men engage in these encounters. And for me, I don't understand why, personally. Now I got pushback on my channel from some folks. I try not to shame people, even though I do sometimes. I can do that for sure. But for me, I feel like, bro, you the celebrity. Why are you paying this woman for a transaction with you? Like, use your celebrity to get at her, right? Quite frankly, a lot of these celebrities, you can get you a woman who can be freaked out, do all the freaked out stuff you want to do, and y'all can have a regular relationship. She can like you or whatever. You don't necessarily gotta pay for this. You know what I mean? But furthermore, I just think that transactional sex for people of high status, high profile individuals, it's a dangerous situation for them. It's a slippery slope. They run the risk of being outed at any turn because these sex workers have nothing to lose. Some may say they might lose clientele, but I mean, they also might gain clientele because there are sick and twisted men who want to have sex with women that other powerful men have had sex with. It makes them feel like they're closer to these individuals, or that makes them feel like, hey, I got the same type of status if I'm messing with the same girls they messing with, you know what I mean? So it could increase clientele for these women, right? They get clout from it, etc. So I feel like sex workers they're not meant to protect you. That's not their goal. They're not trying to protect these men who are rich and famous. A lot of them aren't. And so you run the risk of being outed at every turn. You know what I mean? And I believe this is what Shannon Sharpe has learned from this situation, right? Not only that, he's messing with a young girl who's younger than his daughters. Shannon Sharpe got 2 daughters and 1 son. He has 3 children, right? This girl is younger than his children. And a lot of the young women run that game. This is the age where a lot of the transactional sex is happening with not just older men, with younger folks as well, right? And this transactional sex has become more popular due to a lot of men engaging in scamming, so they getting easy, fast money, so they're willing to fork over money more easily, quickly, because they're not working hard to make this money. They getting fast money quick and getting a lot of money, getting a lot of it. So they're more willing to fork over cash for sexual encounters because they have no game, they have no conversation, they don't have charm, they don't have any wit. They can't get a woman to rock with them off the strength. They don't have good social skills. They don't know how to make a woman laugh or any of that. So they try to say, let me bypass all of that and just give up the bread. You know what I mean? And so it's popular with younger women too. So he ran into a younger woman who she like, okay, give up that paper. I remember in one of the transcripts of the text, she told Shannon Sharpe, I know you missed this big juicy ASS, right? She said like $50,000 for each cheek. And when I read that, I said, absolutely not. Shannon, you ain't no bad looking dude. You know what I'm saying? You buffed up, muscle bound and all of that. You can find you a fine 35-year-old plus woman who will do anything you want her to do. Sexually, all of that. She'll love you. She'll do anything you want her to do sexually, with y'all just having you ain't even got to be in a relationship with her. You take her out, y'all have a good time together, y'all hang out. You can get you a fine woman. Hell, it's celebrities that probably would have messed with Shannon Sharpe. You know what I mean? Fine celebrity women that would have messed with him. On the low, it didn't even have to be on Front Street. And hell, a celebrity woman ain't gonna out you because shit, they got something to lose too. I feel like a lot of the sex workers, they don't have anything to lose, so they gonna throw you under the bus and they gonna out you or whatever, even if you didn't do anything wrong to them. And so Shannon Sharpe is now learning this lesson because I know he is hurt. I know he's hurt that his reputation has been dragged through the mud. His image has been sullied in a way. His image has been sullied. And he's had to fork over millions of dollars to a woman that didn't care nothing about him. A woman he ain't tied to, like he really ain't. I don't know if he was in love with her or not. But this ain't a woman who cared about him. A woman who got his best interests at heart. This ain't a woman who will go to the moon and stars, to earth and back for him. No. He done met this 19-year-old girl in the gym, and she done got a quick come up off him. She done finessed him out that paper, man. She done got all this bread up out of him. This is money that could have went to his grandchildren. Because the man got grandchildren now. Shannon got grandchildren. Money that could have went to his children, his mama, his siblings. Because he loved his brother and sister. Shoot, he loved them heavily. Like, he talks about it all the time. This money that could have went to your family is going to this woman that you met in the gym, this young woman you met in the gym, that you was already paying for sex already. You already was paying her. Now she done got a hefty ass bag off of you, so much so that she is now retired from OnlyFans. She put up a quick message from OnlyFans. She saying she done with the OnlyFans game. I done got this bag. I done came to do what I'm supposed to do. Now I can sit back, relax, and kick my feet up. Now Shannon, one, he has to deal with the aftermath of, being judged for settling with the woman. And now he done came off a significant amount of paper. Now some of y'all gonna say, that money ain't nothing to Shannon. Shannon got a $100 million deal. Cool, whatever. But even if he got it, I don't care if I got it. I don't want to get no $15, $20 million, 20, whatever, however much it was. I don't want to get no $20+ million to no woman or nobody, not even just a woman, nobody who I don't love, who I don't care about, who don't got my best interests at heart, who don't love me, who ain't, who don't got my best interests at heart, who would protect me. I don't want to give no money to nobody that would throw me under the bus and sully my reputation. I don't. And especially when that money could be going to my children. I got 2 children of my own. What? If I get Shannon money, I'm pissed and hurt that I got to give up 20 plus. I said 15 at first. First I said 20, then I think I said 15 million. But I think I heard it was like 20 million plus. I don't want to get no 20 million, 15 million, with however much it was, to nobody that don't care about me. Though some girl I didn't met and hooked up with and all of that. But again, I don't believe in transactional sex. That ain't for me. Right? But yeah, and then for those who don't know what OnlyFans is, it's a subscription-based platform where Miss Gabriella Zuniga, she was displaying sexual content, right? Showing, sexually explicit type stuff and all of that. She was showing sexually explicit content on OnlyFans. And now she don't got to do that no more thanks to Mr. Shannon Sharpe, right? Now, what is the aftermath of this? Will Shannon Sharpe return? Will he return to ESPN? I'm sweating and stuff. Will he return to ESPN? You got some people thinking ESPN probably ain't gonna want nothing to do with him no more. They're a Disney-owned network. They're gonna be like, yo, that was bad on our name, for our image, we gotta let you go. But then I also believe that ESPN loves ratings, and Shannon Sharpe is gonna bring a lot of ratings when he comes back on TV. People are gonna tune in simply just to see how things are gonna go after he's been on this hiatus and he's taking this absence. ESPN forced him to take an absence from their network. People are going to tune in just to see how things are going to be. It's kind of like when FS1 happened, when the stuff happened at FS1. People were tuning in. They're not going to tune in at the same rate that they would tune in at ESPN, right? But when FS1, that stuff happened with Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho and all of that, when all of that was revealed, people was tuning in to FS1 to see, damn, let's see how Joy and all of them going to be acting on air. Let's see how Emmanuel Acho is going to act on air after all of this came out. Let's see if there's going to be any awkward moments, etc. People are going to tune into ESPN just to see, is there going to be anything awkward about Shannon being back? And then already Shannon is an entertaining guy. He's proven that with the amount of subscribers he's amassed on Club Shay Shay and Nightcap, and how much his clips generate when he was at FS1 and when he first arrived to ESPN with Stephen A. Smith, right? But again, I know he hates the fact that you got to fork over. And this is the thing, man. A lot of times, me included, a lot of times we as men, we let lust get the best of us. And lust will hurt our finances. It will hurt our reputation. It will hurt our family. All of the above, man. And he let his sexual urges get the best of him. And I'm not saying that to say he forced himself in a girl. I don't know. I wasn't there. A lot of people don't believe that he did. You got some people that believe that he did, right? But anyway, he let his sexual temptation messing with this young girl who's a sex worker, right? I don't believe, and again, I don't believe in messing with sex workers. I just don't. But yeah, he let this young sex worker, I guess, lure him in. Oh, not lure him in. He saw what he liked. He let his urges allow him to mess with this young girl who's young enough to be his daughter. And then it led to him getting into a whole situation where she was accusing him of sexual assault, and he had to fork over millions and millions of dollars. That is not a situation that is something it's not something that I'm sure it's not something that he's proud of and something that he thought he was ever going to find himself in. At all. But now, look what has come of this. You know what I mean? And a lot of this whole situation could have been avoided if you say, you know what, man, this is a young girl. I'm not going to, I'm going to mess with somebody my age or whatever. I can go ahead and go and mess with somebody else. But he let them urges get the best of him. And now he had to fork over a significant amount of millions of dollars, you know? And it's an unfortunate situation. But it's a lesson learned, man. It's a lesson learned. And you got a lot of people that was already pissed because the girl was engaging in some type of race play with him. You know what I mean? Talking about having his big black babies and put that big black baby all in. Weird shit was going on in the transcripts of them conversations. And you got people that looking like, yo, I know your grown self is not engaging in some race play with this little ass girl. She's a woman, but a very, 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 very young woman. This young ass woman, you letting this girl get you into race play talk, you that. Some people looking at it like you that, for lack of better terms, for lack of better words, you that horny, you know? And again, I got a lot of respect for Shannon's ascension in the media game. He has become a media giant. Whether you like it or not, it's undeniable. But we as men, including me, have to do better with letting our sexual urges get the best of us and getting us into some BS. You know what I mean? That we could avoid all the way around, man. And that's my take on it, man. Machiavelli Mills TV. Because I know his kids looking back and they're embarrassed at it. You know what I mean? They're going to ride with their father as they should. But I know they looking like, man, Dad, what's with this young girl? OnlyFans worker. And again, he got 2 daughters. He had one of his daughters on air with him on the show with him before, when he left FS1 Undisputed and all of that, you know? So, yeah, man, got 3 kids, grandchildren. Nah, that's not a good look for him, even though he can now move on. But I'm sure now he's going to be a lot more careful with how he handles situations with women, how he moves with women, and the women that he messes with, the women that he deals with in general. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out, y'all. Peace.